Hello dolls, and welcome back to another video. I personally love to craft things, and a couple of weeks ago I uploaded a reel where I showed you this very specific purse and everyone loved it. So I got this gifted by my dad and my stepmom a couple of years ago actually, but it is basically a purse made out of 2 records. And the most asked question under that video was, did I make this myself? And if so, if I could share a tutorial. And I didn't make this one myself, but it did got me thinking. And lo and behold, I am here today to share with you, ta-da, this one that I made. So we now have the blueprint and this one. And today I want to share with you how I made this purse. So 2 things right off the bat. First of all, everything that I used for this was either from the craft store or from the thrift store, so it was really inexpensive. You can definitely see that there are a couple of differences in these. Like for example, I never really liked how this one is cut off at the bottom, so I made mine round. I also didn't love the straps on this one because they were just quite modern looking, so I decided to go with beads for mine. But other than that, I went off of this blueprint. So now if you want to see how I made this purse and you want to make your own, keep on watching. Starting with the things you're gonna need. 2 records. I went with the classic size. You can also use singles if you'd like to. And then you need some sort of fabric. I wanted something shiny because I really love the patent leather 60s look. And I found this while thrifting. It's a gym bag, but I decided to go with it. A durable yarn. I got this one that was kind of coated. And then I got these wooden pearls because I really love the look for the handles. However, if you want to go for something different, that is fine. And then some sort of marker to mark where you're going. You're also gonna need a ruler and a soldering iron. I had this for a while. I used it a couple of times before, but it came really handy. I would recommend you to wear a mask for doing this. So I started by marking my record. I decided to go with 3 centimeters in between my marks. This is where we're then gonna make the holes so that you can thread the yarn through. After I got done with the first record, I put the second one on top and matched my marks. Please keep in mind to leave a spot at the top where you're going to put the handles, because we're going to make marks for that later, but you don't have to make marks and holes all the way around your record because there's going to be the opening on top. Now, because the soldering iron will burn through absolutely everything, I decided to use this old cutting board that we don't really use anymore as a base so that my soldering iron wouldn't destroy my beautiful wooden table. And then I just went one by one through all the holes. Please wear a mask while doing this. There are some gnarly fumes coming off of this. It smelled really horrible. I also opened all the windows for doing this. And I just kind of like press down. You will feel once you're through the record, and you just kind of have to make sure that the hole is big enough so that later a needle will fit through. Then I took the gym bag and just removed all the parts because I just wanted it for the fabric. This was such a steal at the thrift store that I just couldn't pass it up, and it was the exact fabric that I was looking for. So I cut it up. I just decided to cut off all the edges and everything so that it would be one piece of fabric. And then I rolled my record around it to kind of see how long the fabric piece needed to be, because this is going to be the part in between the records that basically makes the bottom of the bag. And so I marked that and got to cutting. I decided to go with about 10 centimeters for the width because I kind of felt like that was a good amount to have some storage. Once I had that cut, I got out my sewing supplies and started to look for a needle. I wanted to go with one that was a little bigger because it just makes it easier, and also because my thread is a little thicker since I wanted something that was really durable. And so I threaded my needle and got to work. I went through the hoops and then just attached the leather strap. And I went one time all around it and then kind of like made my way back, if that makes any sense, so that I double stitched every single hole. And I also made sure that the marks are on the inside because I tried to remove them but couldn't fully get them off, so I felt like I could just hide them on the inside of my bag. It looks like this took ages, but it was actually just about 20 minutes, I want to say. I put on some records, lit a candle, and just made myself a really beautiful little scene. And then it was time to attach the other side. Now this is a little harder, so I started at the same height with like one of the holes all the way on the edge, because as said, we leave the one space on top so that it's just open because we don't need holes at the top. I feel like I'm explaining this so badly, but you'll see what I'm doing, and I hope that makes it a little clearer. And then I attached the leather on there as well. And then it kind of looked like this, and now you definitely see the whole thing coming together. I wasn't too careful when doing this because sometimes the sticker on the record is not centered on both sides. So just when you're marking, keep in mind that if you want the title of the record to be on the outer side, that you need to make the marks on the inner side and therefore turn the record so that you can read the title if that is something that is important to you. And then I brought this all back to the table and made some marks, 2 on each side for the handles, and I burnt those through with the soldering iron as well. And I really wanted the handles to have that really distinctive 60s look. And what I see a lot for 60s purses are beaded handles. And so I got these at the craft store. They were really inexpensive, I think €1 for each pack. And I used 2 packs, 1 for each handle. And so I just threaded the yarn through. I actually doubled the yarn so that it was a little extra stable, added all the pearls. I found that using the needle for this as well made it so much easier. So I did that, threaded all of the wonderful beads on the yarn and attached it to the handle. And that is it. That is the final step. And then you're done. So give it up for the beautiful vinyl purse.
I can feel your love every time that you speak soothing sounds abound on my way to make legs and me. You are a flower girl, flower girl.
But yeah, that is it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I loved making that purse. It was very fun. It took me about 2 hours, so it really wasn't bad. And as said, I want to say the total cost of this came out to maybe $5 in general. It was really inexpensive. But yeah, let me know if you would like to see more DIYs. It's actually something that I love to do. I love to craft different things. I just don't know whether anyone's interested in seeing that, but if you would like to see more of my little DIY projects, let me know. I am from that era on YouTube about 10, probably even longer years ago when DIY was everywhere. I used to love it and I still love these videos, so I decided to bring it back. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I would love you to give it a thumbs up and maybe even share it with a friend. It supports me, it supports the channel, and it would truly mean the world. Also, if you're recreating this purse, tag me on Instagram or tag me anywhere else. Send me pictures. I would love to see it. This is my Instagram @ I'm at Emma Rosa Katarina everywhere, and I would just truly love to see what you're creating. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing. I make videos all about the 60s and 70s every single week, and I would love to have you around. I hope you have a beautiful day. Go out, enjoy the sunshine, take yourself some time to focus on you and your mental health today, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, dolls!